Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your support. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, please check out patreon.com and search Engelgeist. In the video description on YouTube, if you look at that, please read that. It gives a little insight into the purpose of these readings, some specific information that I want you to know whenever watching any of my readings, just sort of important house rules and things like that. So please refer to that. This is the general collective reading for all signs for the day, for the energy of the day on March 7th of 2021. It's not necessarily solely set for that date. It is a timeless message. So if you're watching it on a totally different date, that's okay. It might be that's when you're ready to see this message. So you just have to trust that, okay? If this message applies to you, great. Use it in the best way that you see fit. If it does not, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. You just might be working on something different than most of the people that watch this video at that time. And then again, it says this in the video description. Always, when using my videos, never take anything I say over that of a professional in their field. So like a doctor, lawyer, or therapist. I just really need to make that clear when you're making new decisions in your personal life, okay? All right, so let's get into this and see what the cards want us to know. We're now, it's not Saturday, it's Sunday the 7th. So we're doing a Sunday reading. I didn't even realize. So let's see what's going on for the week. So this will be for Sunday, the 7th of March through the 13th. What do we need to know? That was a weird cut. I'm going to shuffle one more time because I didn't like that cut. It didn't seem to feel like authoritative enough. Okay, do the exact same thing, so we're gonna go with it. All right, so here are our cards. Each card is gonna be good for about a day or two, depending. Some of you might only experience one of these cards. Some of you might experience all of these cards and then some. So kind of it ebbs and flows. Just take it as you need it. So the beginning of the week, we have the Five of Swords. Beautiful card. Wow, really beautiful card. There's a little bit of heartache, a little bit of pain here, right? This is an interesting card because to me, this is sort of about, it can be about sort of competition, fighting, that sort of a thing. Truths not being told, or at least that's sort of the sense that I'm getting. This could be surrounding a relationship. I think I'm feeling this just because of the male and the female in this picture. I feel like somebody's been maybe hurt. This may not be an existing relationship. It might be something that's in the past, because I feel like obviously him being in shadow feels like he's in the past. And there may be a truth that sort of we're either hiding or not necessarily honoring within ourselves. Maybe a thought in our mind. The way that her face is sort of obscured to me makes me feel that way. If there's something going on in your relationships, maybe it's something that's been left unsaid, something that you feel doesn't need to be said, maybe because you fear hurting them even more or them hurting you even more. You could be this shadow person where you feel hurt. You feel like you're maybe not being told the whole and complete truth, right? Where you might be what's the word? Intuitively feeling as though you're not being told the full story. And so because of that, you may not necessarily feel things are honest in the relationship, or things are on the up and up, that they're in the clear, that sort of a thing. For those of you on the more floral side here, there might be something that was left unsaid that you keep reflecting back to, or there might be something that you still need to say to this person that maybe has either left or is in the past. Maybe you've left them in the past, or they could even be passed on. I'm kind of getting also an otherworldly feeling here, like this could be people in our lives that have left us that we might still feel and have thoughts for. Today or the early part of this week may be time to express that, time to get that sort of truth or those thoughts to the forefront and shared. I don't necessarily think that this is a bad card. I just kind of feel like there's a little bit of nerviness, maybe some anxiety, some worry that's coupled with this card. Is now the right time to say it? Should I say it? Should I not say it? Or if I say it, will I hurt them more? Will I damage the relationship more? Is the relationship reparable? Like, can I fix this relationship? This is sort of like a hard-won loss, right? That's usually how it's depicted, as the guy who has won the battle, but he's sort of not happy about it. And so wherever the state of this relationship sits for you, it's not necessarily working for either of you. Whether it's completely over, they're completely out of the picture, there's still some lingering pain, some sadness, maybe some resentment or unspoken truth that need to come out in this. So keeping that in mind, let's go to the midweek card. The midweek card is the Four of Cups. These cards are absolutely beautiful. So the Four of Cups can indicate a time of rest sometimes. Usually that's Four of Swords, but with this Four of Cups, I feel like this is rest and contemplation. I feel like this is an emotional time. We might be kind of working through the and I don't know why, I might still be on that story from that Eight of Cups yesterday, but I definitely got this distinct impression from yesterday's story that there's a relationship that might be dissolving or that is changing in some way, a significant relationship to us. Now, significant can be a good friendship, a family relation, a lover, a boss, a coworker that we deal with quite frequently that we maybe, that has an impact on our life. But I feel like this Four of Cups to me is sort of the sadness around that, maybe feeling some of the sadness, feeling some of the feelings that she's holding back behind this flower, some of the thoughts. It feels to me like if we sit in it or if we acknowledge it, I think in some ways we're able to transform it, right? We do have some semblance of protection that would be symbolized in that umbrella there, even though it feels like it's raining down upon us, right? Because we see this darkness cast upon her, like the rain is falling upon her, but really she's protected ultimately, and she will get through this. And she's also that goose or a swan, whatever that bird is there, signifies that she's not necessarily alone in this, even though she may feel alone. Sometimes this can indicate boredom, indecision, that sort of a thing, but I get more of the cups aspect of this and the sort of reflection, pondering, feeling through the feelings, not necessarily taking action. First we think them, then we sort of feel them, and we sit with them in the midweek and kind of process them and allow them to sort of ideally stabilize and become less sort of maybe emotional or watery for us, if that makes sense. Now, the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. I love this. Wow. So this is all about transformation to me because of that butterfly, but it's transformation through doing the work. I really think that this week is about healing mental and emotional wounds, or the mental thoughts that we carry and then the emotions that are brought with them. And in the doing of that, the Eight of Pentacles shows up at the end of the week to show us the transformation that's taken place, sort of like that story of the caterpillar and the butterfly, is that the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, which this would be your cocoon right here. And as you feel through it and you sit with it and you ponder, you come out on the other side having done the work, having looked at the particulars, having looked at the intricacies and really given dedicated thought, care, attention to whatever situations you might be dealing with, whatever might sort of be unended or not unended, but like unsolved is the wrong word too. It's sort of like that Five of Swords to me feels unresolved is the right word. So anything that's unresolved in our minds, in our relationships, in things that maybe either we've done or wrongs that have been done to us in the past, we have to sort of work through those this week, feel them, stabilize them, and then in doing that, we sort of do that transformative work that allows us to blossom into this beautiful butterfly. And this butterfly, the Eight of Pentacles also is that idea of that particular sort of like nose to the grindstone work. And here it's a much more softer card. She's painting this butterfly. She's painting the dream. She's sort of painting the transformation. She's creating herself on a very physical level, like it's manifesting out into her physical world, it being the Pentacles. So first it happens mentally, then we do the work internally, emotionally. And as that happens, the transformation starts to show visibly on ourselves in a positive way at the end of the week. Materially or physically, right? And so in our behaviors, in our interactions, in our viewpoint of the world, I think that we sort of transform that through hard work, dedication, and focus. And then we also, I think with the Eight of Pentacles, we learn a little bit more about who we are and what we sort of understand. We may learn something new in this process this week that gives us an extra layer or an extra understanding of exactly what we bring to the table that should be appreciated. There's an appreciation in that Eight of Pentacles. And again, this brings things back into balance for us because it is going from a 4 to an 8. Both 4s represent stability to me, 8s represent balance. So we're bringing that back into a state of balance and groundedness. Now let's look to the Oracle cards for the week and see what that has to say. Sorry, my dog is scratching at the perfect key. Look at that heart in that cage. That heart is the heart that we unlock in the midweek. Those feelings. There's a bunch of different keys. Those keys are almost like the 5 different swords that we're dealing with it in the beginning of the week, right? And then when we unlock this cage, the perfect key. Hey, no. Do not pull that cord, sir. I'm sorry. He likes to pull the cords underneath the table and it goes... But he has to be in here with me. I'm sorry, guys. The perfect key is this idea that once we find that perfect focus, that not perfect. Perfect is like sort of a, to me, it's a ruse, right? But when we find that right feeling or that right thought that's going to transform us into this Eight of Pentacles energy, we release our heart, we release our truth, and we are able to sort of blossom. Hold on one second. Go outside. Go now. Go play out there. I can't do this with you and the cords. Go on, go outside. So we will begin to blossom at that time, right? I do want to say this number is 29, which is an 11, which is a master number, which makes me think that there is some sort of self-mastery that's happening this week. It will be transformative. It will be personal. It will be start out as mental, go into emotional, and then transform in and show itself in the physical. Does that make sense? Let me read to you the perfect key really quick. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to best settle him before doing these readings. I keep him in the room and then I put him away and there's all these different ways. The perfect key, happiness, encouragement, unlock feelings. This card shows a woman holding a key in one hand and a cage with a heart in it in the other. There's a bird sitting on the woman's shoulder, encouraging her to try different keys with his mouth. Yet the woman has already found the perfect fitting key. She can open the cage and open her heart. Sometimes life is only a search for the right key. There are so many things that are hard for us to approach. We can have trouble accessing our own feelings. Thanks to friends and family, there are people who can help us find the lost keys to our personal happiness. So I think that some of us are going to be working on those relationships this week, either those relationships to ourselves or with our families and loved ones. Let's look to the grounding stone for the week. And the grounding stone, beautiful, is on marble, and this is clarity. So the word is clarity. We are finding that clear mind, clear heart, clear emotions, and then the transformation of that through the work at the end of the week, right? So we want to stay clear this week on how we feel, what we're thinking, what our relationships are at, what we're willing to give to these relationships, what they're giving to us. And as we sort of focus on that, we will be able to sort of free ourselves and feel a sort of a lightness and a release by the week's end, all right? But this focus on clarity last week was knowledge, so it's sort of interesting. It's still this sort of mental space of awareness and the clarity of that. All right, thank you for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button if you feel so inclined. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We're here every day. You can also check out the monthly tarot scopes for your signs. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.